Hi, everybody. This is Betty Redmond from Ingram Publisher Services, and I'm here with my Midwest fellow colleagues, Johanna Hynes and John Tewsley. And we are here in this segment to talk about our lovely children's books. Be sure to catch our other two performances with nonfiction and gift books for the holiday, as well as a fiction and poetry segment as well. So I want to let you know that we have really gone gangbusters with signing a lot of new children's book publishers to all of our brands, PGW, IPS, and Two Rivers. And some of those include Red Comet, which is a fantastic press from some experts, and they're starting up. They come to us from Macmillan and have a great reputation and are bringing some new things on their own imprint. Red Comet. We have Rebel Girls, and then Undercats, which is a new imprint from Francesca Cavallo, who was one of the founders of Rebel Girls. And we also have Flyaway Books, which is the imprint from John Knox Westminster Presbyterian Publishing. It is both Christian publishing as well as non-denominational press that focuses on human rights and justice issues. So be sure to take a look at those. And we also want to talk about, we have a backlist special offer that is good through the end of November. It's plus 3%, and the promo code is TY21, and the TY is thank you to all of you great indie booksellers for helping make this a successful year for our publishers. And we also are still running the 30 days additional billing through the end of October. So let me get started on Graystone Kids. This publisher is only, Graystone's been around for a while, but they've done kids books for only a little more than a year and garnered vast starred reviews and award nominations. How Beautiful, I think, is a book that will become a classic perennial backlist seller. It's the story of a caterpillar and a chance encounter with a human child that appreciates the caterpillar's beauty even before it becomes a butterfly. While it's ambitious that this picture book tries to answer the question of what is beauty, it lives up to the challenge wonderfully. This should be a perfect holiday gift book for both its message and its stunning illustrations. And My Mad Hair Day just makes me laugh out loud. So lots of us are old enough to remember, I've seen the reruns of the Mary Tyler Moore Show and her Bad Hair Day. Well, this one, Mally is having an even worse day than Mary Tyler Moore could ever think of. Her hair is totally out of control. It knocks over a tray of cookies at the bakeries. A flock of birds wants to make a nest in there. And it becomes a really trying day for her. She gets angry and exhausted, and she gives herself a timeout, takes a nap, wakes up feeling much better, and can go on with her day. This is from Natalie Dion, who you guys have heard me talk about. She is a wonderful illustrator. Last year I presented I Found Hope in a Cherry Tree, which was her illustrations. This year she's doing the story herself as well as the illustrations. And I think she is an author illustrator to watch. And then The Cow Said Boo. This one you can put out right away on the Halloween table. It's one of those sweet, not scary Halloween books for youngsters. And then leave it on there through Christmas and throughout the year because it's just a great, funny story. It has rhyming content and a repeated refrain, making it perfect for read aloud, especially with groups for story time. And then the undercover book list is from another one of my favorite publishers, Colleen Nelson, who is well known for her YA fiction and beginning to build a really wonderful reputation for her middle grade books, which include the Harvey stories, which you've also heard me talk about. This is a book about books, about reading books. As one of my rep friends called it, bibliotherapy at its best. And it is the story about two unlikely friends at school. Each one has sort of been pigeonholed at school by their classmates about who they are. They're both outsiders, but a secret correspondence begins with them by leaving notes in library books at the school. And their friendship grows deeper with the exchange of these secret notes, and they find that their identity is what they make of it, not what is defined by their classmates. And they come to this with the help of a great and supportive teacher. So this is a good tribute to teachers as well. And then A Cat and Dog, another couple of unlikely friends. This is a concept book about opposites, but unlike most opposite books where it's just one word juxtaposed against another, these concepts were carefully chosen in order to create a narrative about the relationship between cat and dog, whether it's love and hate, friends or foes. And it's just hilariously funny as well as sweet. And with a collection of just these few words and a little bit of punctuation, it tells a great story of their adventure and friendship. And then Robin and Robin is from Comet Press, who I mentioned earlier. This is a tie-in with Netflix, which will begin airing in November. And it's the story of a robin whose egg falls into a mouse's nest. And when Robin comes out of her egg, she thinks that she is one of the mice and she is part of that family. So it's a story about being different from others. It's a story about how families don't match up other families, and just very delightful. And I think this will become a holiday classic. And then Earth is Big is a great one from What on Earth Press. And it's one of those encyclopedic books that does double duty for fun and learning. It indicates to kids how looking through a special lens or looking from a change of perspective can dazzle you and amaze you. So it looks at things like, griffin vultures can fly higher than any jet, and comparisons that help kids understand the differences in weights and sizes and speed. So a great gift that can be put into any auntie's or grandma's hands at the holiday season. And then, John, I believe that's over to you.
Sure is, Betty. Thank you. And yeah, big, lots of love out there for Cat and Dog and the new publisher we have here. There's just been extraordinary response to these guys, Comet Press. But for me, I've got a couple of quick titles that kind of fit together. The first one is 3 Lines in a Circle. This is coming from Flyaway. This is kind of a unique look at the inception and making of the peace symbol. So many of us take it for granted, myself included. So it's great that this kid's books relays the story so beautifully. Did you know the symbol design emanates from semaphore, the alphabet used for flag messaging, and also that the symbol was roundly rejected at first, but the folks who created it persisted and made its debut at an anti-war march in London in 1958. Find out more in this vibrant and necessary book, perfect for hippie grandparents. And there should be a Schoolhouse Rock video with this topic.
Right on.
Right on. And then one of my personal favorites is War, also coming from Graystone Kids. It's from a Portuguese team, Jose and Andre Latria, if I'm getting that right. This is a nice companion to 3 Lines, but a rather dark and somber look at the utter horrors of war. Sparse poetic language accompanies these haunting images. Tough sell for a toddler, but good for older kids. You can point customers looking for help in understanding Afghanistan and other areas of conflict to help with their children. And the art is surely reminiscent of Edward Gorey and will leave a lasting impression. I'm just really excited about this book. And I'll end with a quote from a line from Edwin Starr, his 1973 hit, "War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing." Right, Joe?
Say it again.
Say it again.
The books that I wanted to highlight, the first one is from Anik Press, and it's called Words in My Hands. And this is a YA book that is absolutely extraordinary. It's a visual art journal from deaf author Asphyxia, who weaves her insight into her deaf culture and what it's like to be deaf throughout a compelling story set in the near future in a time of scarcity. And Asphyxia learned to sign when she was 18. She became deaf when she was 3. So that really changed her life to be able then to be able to sign. She's a deaf activist, and she really shares some really sobering and heartening details of the deaf experience. This will be out in November, and it is 1995. And then the book that I personally love the most is My Dog Banana, and I keep cracking up every time I read this at its Monty Python-esque story. This young person takes a dog out for a walk, or so they insist. Everybody else sees a banana, but they say, no, it's a dog, and the dog is named Banana. And hilarity ensues. I won't spoil the punchline, but it is out now, and it is $17.95. And then another book that is absolutely Wes Anderson-esque is a book called Moon Pops. And it's stunningly detailed mixed media 3D shoebox dioramas. And it's the story of it's an East Asian fable of the rabbit in the moon. And it begins on a night that's so warm, the moon begins to melt. And one of the creatures, a grandmother, goes out to collect its magical luminescence and shares it with the people in the neighborhood. And many of you will already have this on your shelves, but really take time to explore it because the art is absolutely gorgeous. We've just never seen anything quite like this. And this, as I said, just shipped, and it will be in many of your Christmas catalogs. And then lastly, another Wes Anderson-esque book, and I think it's sort of Wes is on the brain these days, but Secret of the Magic Pearl is a middle grade novel about Hector, who lives in the Italian coastal town on the marina, and his family runs a tourist exploration company going out to the ocean. And one day, a unscrupulous character comes and opens a much newer center in town, and Hector has to help save the family business. And I just have been so charmed by these illustrations. And, you know, many of you know that I have a 17-year-old son who is not a fan of sci-fi and fantasy. And it was a real struggle in middle grade to find books that were just, you know, good adventure stories on the shelves. And this one really hits that sweet spot. The colors are gorgeous, and it is an entrancing read. And as Betty said, this is from Comet Press, and they were animators at Pixar, so they really have a sense of that visual pop. And those were the books I wanted to highlight. So I think that wraps us up. Thank you all for attending, and we hope to see you in the near future. Please use our +3 backlist offer. Take care, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Bye.